What equipment do I need to start a podcast? Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Aldreama Harper, your podcast launch strategist. And today we're going to tackle the question that I get all the time. And that question is, what equipment do I really need to start a podcast? So if you're overwhelmed, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the gear that's out there, you're not alone. There is a lot of gear. You will see people with all kinds of fancy stuff, all kinds of gear. There may be people out there telling you that you need, 10 times the amount of things that you really don't. Well, today I'm going to break it all down for you. I'm going to show you some budgie. Did I just say budgie?
In the podcast jungle with a mic to machete, Aldreama Harper, she ready and steady. Organized planner with a plan, never petty. Dropping gems, got my thoughts feeling heavy. Podcast launch pad where the dreams take flight. Entrepreneurial spirit out of sight, out of mind. Every episode, knowledge taking flight. Getting organized, keep it hustle tight. All dreamers got the wisdom, breaking it down.
Oh my gosh. So, today we're going to break it all down. Um, I'm going to show you some budget friendly options to get started. Okay. All right, I hope you're ready. Let's dive in because I just don't know about this one today. So, one of the biggest misconceptions about starting a podcast is that you need a lot of expensive equipment. High end gear can be great, but it's not absolutely necessary, especially when you're starting out. In fact, you can launch a podcast with just a few essential items, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Just a few essential items that you need to start your podcast. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this particular topic is because a lot of people that starting out get stuck in procrastination because they think everything has to be perfect and they need everything to get started. And that is just a level of procrastination. That's just another level of procrastination to keep you from getting started. Okay? So let's just dive in. Okay? Tired of talking. So, so let's talk about the number one thing. Okay? Essential equipment number one, a microphone. All right. This is probably the most important piece of equipment that you need because your audio quality is absolutely crucial. Now, some of you, as a matter of fact, some of my clients have done this. They've actually launched their podcast with their earbuds with a microphone. Okay. That is okay because most of us have a phone, right? And so that is one of the things that I share with my clients is that you don't have to start out with a whole lot of equipment. However, your audio quality is crucial. And so, you can start out with your, phone's microphone, your mic on your phone. That'll work in a pinch, but it's not the ideal thing. So what you want to do is you want to get some type of USB microphone. And that's what I highly recommend to my clients once they're at a place that they want to make their first purchase and they want to sound professional. I suggest a USB microphone. That is what you're seeing here. This is a USB microphone. Now, when I first started out, I did use my phone, and the software that I used was Spreaker. So you'll hear me talk about this over and over again. When I first launched my podcast back in 2013, I used an app and I used my phone. And the audio was okay, actually, because I believe that the app and the software did a lot of the heavy lifting. Okay. And so that software again was Spreaker, and it still exists out there. It has a lot of bells and whistles, and I absolutely love it, especially if you want to, add a few little, tweaks to your podcast. But again, the most essential part is your microphone, okay? Because it's easy to set up this USB microphone here. It's easy to set up. All you have to do is just plug it right into your computer. Um, and so it will offer you a much better sound than your built-in mic. Okay, that's kind of where I'm getting to. You can start out with your earbuds and your phone and the app. Okay, if you want to start out with the very, very basic thing, but then you do want to purchase some type of microphone, preferably one that plugs directly into your computer and one that has with the USB with a USB plug-in. Okay. Now this one, by the way, is one that I purchased. Is actually my second mic that I purchased. The first one was a Yeti, and I still have it. I still have my Yeti right here. Okay. Well, I just hit myself in the head, but I still have my Yeti. But then now this Yeti, and they're still out there. I think they are probably, I know that they're under $100, okay? But they're a little bit more, they're a little fancier now. I bought this one back in probably like 2020, I think it was. Now this one is, I'll show you here, New Zeal. I'm sorry, Zeal Sound, not New Zeal, Zeal Sound. It was about $38. So it was a little bit under $40. So just kind of work with your budget. Again, I wanted this to be a budget friendly type of thing and by the way, I forgot to tell you, I got them both on Amazon, okay? I don't know if I said that. I don't think I did. So these are I keep saying budget, budget friendly options is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Let me just stop saying budget, okay? Because I keep wanting to say budgie, and what I'm doing is I'm combining budget and friendly. Okay, so stop it, Aldreama. All right, let's just keep on. Let's keep moving. Okay, so you got it. The mics, okay? The mics, okay? So Yeti, Zeal Sound, these are excellent budget-friendly option with clear sounds. So why a USB mic? You might be asking that. Why can't I use something else? Well, you can. It's just not going to be as simple, right? A USB mic simplifies the setup. It eliminates the need for an audio interface. So you may see a lot of people with, different equipment and, when they have the fancy podcast studio setup. And that's okay if maybe you're inviting people to your, studio. You may see a lot of different types of equipment that plugs into an audio interface. Okay, so, and you can do that when you're ready to upgrade if you want to upgrade. I didn't feel the need to upgrade. Right now, I'm pretty happy with the equipment that I have. But yeah, so there's that. So, but again, a microphone is what you're going to need, a good microphone. Okay? All right. So next, let me look at my notes so I can stay on track. Let me just say this. I don't want you to break the bank. Okay? That is why I'm sharing budget-friendly options. So the Blue Yeti, in my case, mine was brown because I like chocolate. So I like all things chocolate. So you'll notice my branding is in that chocolate brown arena. And but it served me well for a long time. But again, let's not break the bank. Okay. All right. Let's move on. I said enough about that. All right. Now, next, essential equipment number two, headphones. Now, again, as I shared a second ago, some people use their earbuds, and I used my earbuds early on. I recently just got these headphones. Actually, my husband purchased these for me because I don't know, he, bought them as a gift for me. So now these are, he didn't get these from Amazon, but headphones, I have found headphones to be extremely helpful for me because I like to monitor my audio while I am speaking. I like to hear myself. Now that, comes from my background in singing and worship leading and needing the need for a monitor, okay, so that you can hear yourself, so that you can stay on key. Right? Now, I'm not trying to stay on key now, but they're definitely helpful while you're recording because what you hear is what the person hears. People hear when they're listening to your podcast. Okay, so it's great for monitoring your audio and for editing later on because you want to just really minimize the noise, the outside noise that can really be a distraction. Okay, so now any headphones will do. These happen to be Sony. I don't have the box in front of me right now, but these happen to be Sony headphones, and I absolutely love them. Okay, now you don't need anything fancy to start. Like I said, you can use earbuds, but over the ear headphones, they give you a slightly better experience. It helps to isolate the sound and makes it easier to hear the details. I hope that makes sense. They also prevent feedback, that the echo sometimes. They prevent the feedback and that you may hear, right? It allows you to hear yourself clearly and you can catch all of those little audio issues during the recording as well as while you are editing. All right, so there's that. Headphones, that's the reason why I use headphones. Pretty basic headphones, over the ear headphones, they will get the job done. Okay, next, essential equipment number three, you need a computer. Like I said before, some people do okay with their phone. I know people who use their phone for just about everything. I'm not one of those persons because I just, some things you just can't do with your phone. Okay. Um, but if you have a computer already, use the computer that you have. Again, budget friendly options. So, why will you need a computer? You'll need a computer to record, edit, and upload your podcast. Okay. Um, whether it's a laptop or desktop, either one of those will do. Just make sure you want to make sure that you have the storage space because you're going to need the capacity and the processing power to handle the editing software. Now, some of the software comes with the computers. Like, for example, I have a Mac and it comes with iMovie, excuse me, iMovie software. And so that works if that's, what I want to, how I want to use it. If I want to edit using that, that's perfect. Windows, um, I'm not sure that that software comes on a window, but a Windows operating um, computer. But honestly, it really doesn't matter. Most computers are compatible with both. both type of software. Okay, so iMovie may come on may come on a Windows computer. It may not, but it does have something. So, but again, most audio software is capable with both, compatible with both. Okay, why a computer though? Well, I believe that your computer is like your central hub for all of your podcast production process. Okay, so it helps to house all of your uh, um, videos, and again, you're going to need, the type of storage. So you may want to get the, if you're purchasing a new computer just for this, then um, in your consider the amount of storage that you will need for processing videos and audios and things like that, all of those files. Okay, so I hope that made sense too. So yeah, so you're good to go if you already have a computer, but you really don't need to buy one just for podcasting, because in addition to that, there are online software that you can use, and online platforms that you can use to upload and house your videos, your edited videos, and things like that. Which brings me to my next point: essential equipment number 4, audio editing software. So I was just talking about the storage and things like that for your computer, right? In terms of editing and things like that. Like I just talked about iMovie. Now, I'm still talking about software. Okay. So there are other alternatives. Okay. Now, I recommend um, Riverside, which is what I'm using to record my podcast right now. So, um, but there are others. If you're just using if your podcast is strictly audio, it's going to be really, really simple to do. You don't need anything too robust. You can find something. You can go to 123.com and record your audio and it doesn't cost anything, for free, right? And then just edit edit it later. Now, but you will need some type of software to edit your recordings, because you want to remove the errors. You want to add, if you want to add music and sound effects and all that type of stuff, right? So I'm going to recommend that you try. I'm going to recommend a few options for you. So some free options, which is budget friendly. Audacity is a free option. It's open source software that's great for beginners. I have one of my clients who that's what she used. Now, the thing that I would say there is a learning curve. Okay, there is a learning curve with Audacity and any of the audio editing software that I recommend. And so Audacity is great though. It's easy to learn. It is pretty user friendly, but there is a learning curve if you've never audited or you've never edited any audio before. And it is strictly for audio. Okay. Uh, it is free, open source software that's great for beginners. So is GarageBand. GarageBand comes on a Mac. Now, the Audacity comes, you have to go to the um, to the website Audacity and to get their software. But GarageBand comes on a Mac. So if you have a Mac, GarageBand is a great free option. Okay. Now, a paid option is Riverside. Now, Riverside is a professional grade software um, with some advanced features that are extremely user friendly. And so, in fact, when you are editing, all you have to do is just select the text that you see to delete the video and the audio from the uh, when you're editing. All you have to do is just select it and delete it and move on. So it's um, extremely user friendly. I will say that it's not a free platform. However, it is definitely affordable. If you get the one that is, I believe it's $30 a month. That's the plan that I'm on. I don't know if it's still $30 a month. I believe it is. But you can purchase that. I'm going to put a link in there because I love Riverside so much that I became an affiliate. And so, because I use this particular um, software for all of my editing, I use it for editing for my clients and everything. I'm going to put that link in the show notes. But it's extremely user friendly, and so I recommend it to my clients. My clients use it as well. You can try it out. You get like 15 hours when you sign up for free, so you can do all of the things, editing things, right? And use 15 hours when you first start, and then if you don't like it, then you can just cancel. And so now, why editing software for your videos or audios? Why do you even need editing software? Well, I can tell you why I need it. It helps me to create a polished, professional sound, and whether it's video or just audio. With Riverside, you can do strictly audio or you can do video. And so it's going to allow you to have those both types of podcasts. So, you can upload it to Spotify, which allows video as well as YouTube. So there's that, right? But you can edit your software anywhere. You can even edit on YouTube, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So, but you do need some type of editing software. If you want to, make it better and, make it more engaging, things like that, you do want to try some type of editing software. Okay? I don't know if I brought that point home or not, but anyway, so that was essential budget friendly um, software that you will need. So I started out with Audacity and it was perfect because I like doing that kind of stuff. I'm a geeky kind of gal, okay? But I eventually moved on to Riverside because I am now doing videos as well, and I use it for my clients again. Let's recap, okay? So here are the essentials, the podcasting equipment essentials. Um, a microphone, and I shared that with you. Blue Yeti, the Zeal Sound. Those are all under, let's say, so the Zeal Sound again is under $40. I don't know what it is now. You can find them on Amazon. If you need the links, I will put that in the show notes. Headphones, any pair will do. Okay. A computer, laptop or desktop, and editing software. Audacity or GarageBand or Riverside. And that's it, really. You don't need to spend a lot of money to get started. Focus on the essentials. Okay? You can always upgrade later as your demand, as your podcast grows and you want to get better and you want to create something, a little bit more professional, then you can upgrade later. But you don't have to start out with that. Nobody starts out with anything that's perfect. So you don't want to try to be perfect when you first start out. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. If you found this video to be helpful, if you found this podcast to be helpful, be sure to subscribe for more podcasting tips and strategies. And if you're ready to take your podcasting journey to the next level, you want to check out the link in the description. There is a free masterclass that it's absolutely free. All you have to do is just sign up, and you will be able to instantly access that training. It's only 30 minutes, and so you do want to check that out. Okay, and there are other resources that will be added as well in the show notes. All right, so I think that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. This is Aldreama Harper signing off for now. Have an amazing day and be blessed.